Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Spear, President and CEO of GMDC Retail Tomorrow, and welcome to the Mic-Drop Showdown. I'm here with my co-hosts, Brian Gordon, CMO of Accelerate 360, and Sterling Hawkins, co-founder of CART.
Thank you, Patrick, and hello, everyone. Today, we're going to mix it up a little bit and challenge our Showdown finalists to bring something new to the table. After a quick 3-minute overview of their company, we've asked them to tell us why their product should matter most to the consumer because it makes their life better, more efficient, or more fulfilled. Sterling, how do you think that's going to play out between traditional consumer products and tech solutions?
Well, it's going to be good, Brian. It's going to be an interesting day today. You know, in the past, we've had mic drops focused just on consumer products or just on retail technology. And today, we have 2 tech companies and 3 product companies going head to head on what will matter most to the consumer. Now, our judges will be evaluating the companies through that exact criteria. The first is, well, how does it make the consumer's life better? Like Brian, you were just sharing. And second, how strong is the presentation overall and the presenter's ability to respond to our judges' questions? And they're going to be great questions too. So it's a level playing field and it's anyone's game.
Thank you, Sterling. The winner of today's showdown will walk away with $10,000. So let's meet the esteemed panel of judges that will be scoring our presenting companies and deciding where that $10,000 goes. These are people that walk the walk and have years of experience creating change across their industries. I'm happy to introduce them. Derek Gaskins, Chief Marketing Officer, YesWay. Stephen Hennig, Chief Customer Officer, Wakefern. Ola Lassard, Chief Marketing Officer, HempFusion. Naomi Sleeper, Vice President, Imperial Distributors. Neil Stern, CEO, Good Food Holdings. And Kendra Tatarsky, Director at Touchdown Ventures. Great to have all of you, and thanks for joining us today. Throughout this 2021 series, we've enjoyed the support of our program sponsors, specifically Accelerate 360, HempFusion, Meredith, and Navajo Inc. Our grand prize today reflects their contributions throughout the year in bringing innovation to the industry. So let's dive in. Each of our presenters is going to give you a quick reminder of who they are, what they're about, and why they prevailed in their episode of Startup Mic-Drop. But this time, they'll really focus on why they're unique from the customer's point of view. Who's up first, Sterling?
Well, I don't know about all of you, but to me, there's nothing better than that feeling when food and groceries show up on my doorstep. And this first company delivers exactly that, but in a very innovative way. Our presenter, Dmitry Shilenko, CEO of Tortoise, comes from yours truly here at CART. Dmitry?
Thanks so much for having us here today. It's great to be back at CART and to share the latest with Tortoise. So Tortoise, as a refresher, we make remote control delivery robots. We go an average speed of 4 miles per hour and can carry over 250 pounds of goods in our robots. And the simplest way to explain the progress since we last connected is one of the judges, Steve Hennig, is of course Chief Customer Officer at Wakefern. And we launched ShopRite, which is one of the Wakefern portfolio grocery companies, as a customer. And so let's see our solution in action. So the basic idea here is really, really straightforward. You've got a robot at a grocery store, and whenever a e-commerce order comes in that's within a 3-mile radius of that store, you just put the order in the robot, ping the Tortoise system the address and customer phone number, and we take it from there. And so we have a network of remote drivers who can be thousands of miles away, and they take control of the robot, and for just $1 per mile, drive it to the recipient's destination. The recipient gets a text saying their order's on the way. This is our remote driver in Mexico City, actually, going at a low speed, seeing out of the cameras on the robot. So the robot is designed to go on sidewalk, road shoulder, and bike lane. It acts very much like an electric wheelchair would. What consumers are really resonating with is, of course, the robot is 100% zero emissions. It's battery powered, doesn't congest roadways. The virtue of a remote control system is that it actually works. We've now completed over 7,000 deliveries with leading retailers like ShopRite, Safeway, Walmart, many others. So you've got a secure system here where only the person that purchased the goods receives a URL with a unique link, and when they click that link, it unlocks their container. And then the robot goes back to the store. So some of the most interesting and promising data we're seeing from our deployments with leading retailers is we actually have customers that are becoming repeat customers that live in the 3-mile radius because they look forward to the robot delivering their groceries. It's becoming a weekly tradition for them. And so we're so excited to see that behavior. And with the continuing explosion in consumer demand for same day delivery, same day grocery, our core business is really taking off. And we're really excited to be scaling these solutions. We also have retailers using our robots to help with curbside pickup. We've got some really exciting middle mile use cases with a larger container in Michigan. We're with Mayor moving around 60 warm rotisserie chickens from a prep facility to a store where they're getting sold. But the thing I want to share with you, and what I'm most excited about in terms of disrupting the consumer experience in 2022, is what our robots can do to completely flip the script on same-day commerce. So right now, every same-day commerce experience, it starts the same way. A consumer has a demand for something. They go to a website or an app, they place an order, and then it gets fulfilled to them. What you're going to start seeing in 2022 is our robot being used as an ice cream truck for X. What can you do to generate demand through fulfillment? Imagine exclusive products and dropped into a neighborhood, and people in that neighborhood getting a push notification, the robot is here. How quickly do you think those 10 items will get snatched up? That is the excitement that you can bring to commerce with low-cost, affordable, remote repositioning like our technology enables. You now have so much more flexibility to build consumer experiences where the fulfillment isn't just a necessary evil, but it's part of creating the magic. And so in addition to our core focus on taking grocery and retail deliveries and making it more affordable, making it zero emissions, and making it delightful for consumers, we see many exciting opportunities for existing brands to create breakout new experiences that are only possible with our robots. And the idea we're most excited about is this ice cream truck for anything concept. And we're excited to work with all kinds of different product companies and retailers to bring that to life in 2022. So with that, I will leave plenty of time for all your questions and comments.
Dimitri, fantastic. You just need that iconic ice cream truck sound coming out of the robot. So we've got a lot of questions from the judges. First up, we'll go to Neil.
Hey, Dimitri, again, great presentation. Between drones and self-driving cars, and now there's more startups than I can remember doing 10 to 15-minute delivery. How do you fit in, and why are you a better solution than all those different options that are being promoted to retailers like myself for getting consumers items fast.
Yeah, well, do you like technology that actually works today? So that's where we're trying to differentiate, right? There's so much cool technology that could exist a decade from now. We're focused on a solution that is 100% reliable, because what retailers don't have time for is to be distracted with R&D pilots that can't then be built into their core operations and scale, right? So everything we do is focused on scalability. And so our view of the future is low speed comes before high speed, light mass automation before heavy mass like cars and trucks, and remote control comes before autonomous. And then on top of that, our core operating values is flexibility, reliability, and scalability. And so we've been able to, with the same robotic platform, we do last mile, we do middle mile. And what's really exciting in the 10 to 15 minute space, I'll actually share a graphic of this. We're actually building the world's first floating dark store, where these 15-minute grocery providers are effectively stocking their 100 most popular SKUs in the robot. And so a courier doesn't have to go all the way back to a dark store. There's just a floating ring of Tortoise robots that they use to do the pick and pack. And so, for 10 to 15 minute delivery, we're too slow ourselves to do the last mile, but we're a perfect solution to make it so that courier doesn't, their travel time gets cut in half. And so there's going to be some really exciting announcements about what we're doing in the rapid grocery space, but taking a middle mile play there as opposed to trying to tackle the last mile ourselves.
Very smart. I love it. And Kendra, I think you've got a question that builds on that.
I do. Thank you. Yeah, I love the ice cream truck analogy, Dimitri. It kind of brings back all kinds of fun memories. But my question is, what are you doing to reduce the friction for your retailers? For example, are you owning the trucks and you just show up? What kind of data do you require? Do you require the team to at the grocery store to follow the device with the remote control? Just explain to us, like, how do you make that adoption super simple? It sounds like your technology is reliable, but how do you get them onboarded very quickly?
Yeah, so we make it super painless for retailers, because the last thing we want is to be in the IT backlog that you first need to do some systems integration with your old COBOL mainframe just to be able to run a Tortoise pilot. So we have a super simple web portal where you basically just tell us the delivery address, the customer phone number, and the robot number. And that's all we need, right? And so we also provide initial pilot deployments for large retailers, embedded engineering. So with Wakefern, we've got two of our engineers in Yardley, Pennsylvania right now, becoming experts in everything Yardley. And so we realize there's a lot going on. And so we make it basically a no tech integration required. The only requirement a retailer needs is they just need a way to take deliveries, right? To be able to take online orders and have access to that data. And then it's really easy to transfer it through to our system.
Okay, thanks.
Very good. Now, I think we've only got time for one more question. I know a couple of the judges have other questions that will get answered later, but I want to come to you, Stephen. Since you're already working with these guys, what do you have to say?
Listen, I would say Dimitri's telling the truth. When I saw the first Mic-Drop, we called them and we were up and running very quickly. So from a tech standpoint, the company's very refreshing. And they're what Wakefern likes, a company that is flexible and wants to problem solve and wants to execute something and not just give great PowerPoint. So it's been a very nice journey thus far.
Awesome. Any additional questions for Dimitri, or should we keep it rolling? I meant from you, Stephen, but.
Oh, okay. If I could answer, I do have a question. I'm worried about Cube. Talk to me about, Cube in the back of the stores, as most companies are using stores as their fulfillment center, and as volume grows and as deliveries grow. And how do you envision being able to manage your robots from a Cube standpoint to make sure that they don't clutter the store, clutter the back rooms, or clutter the back of stores?
Well, I think the main asset we bring there is it's really easy for us to move our robot around, right? So I think we can be very adaptable there. I also think what we're seeing is in some markets we've had folks keep our robots in the parking garage and put it over have an awning there. So we don't necessarily need indoor space. Depends on kind of time of year. But I think again the flexibility is where we shine there. We have some retailers to make it even easier for them. It's a more expensive option, but we basically will deliver the robot to the store in the morning and remove it at night. Now it's not the most scalable and sustainable way of doing things, but if that ends up being the showstopper, we don't want that to get in the way.
Dimitri, amazing. That's all we've got for Tortoise. Patrick, back to you.
Thank you. Great job, Dimitri. Great questions, judges. Brian, who do we have next?
So now we move from tech to products, and all three of our product finalists really focused on bringing something to the consumer that was good for them or helped their wellness, right? And so we're going to hear from Carolyn Beckman first. She founded Nori, which is helping lead the world's transition to proactive health by creating innovative gut and immune support products. Carolyn, you're up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Caroline Beckman. I'm the founder and CEO of Nori. Thank you, Brian, for the great introduction. And thanks, Patrick. It's great to be back. Okay, so Nori is a consumer product company creating solutions, as mentioned, that help tackle the gut health epidemic we're seeing as a result of poor diets, excess antibiotic use, stress, and other environmental factors. Today, over 1 billion people worldwide are suffering from a gut-related disease. In the United States, these diseases cost us more than $136 billion annually to treat, which is more than heart disease, trauma, or mental illness. Gut-related illnesses impact the immune system directly because 70% or more of your immune cells are located within your gut. This makes it hard for people to fight common and novel viruses, as we saw great transparency to over the last year and a half. Most urgently, gut-related illnesses are passed down to future generations. So you can see in this cycle that's on the screen what we're seeing right now as a result of a lack of good bacteria in the body. So we're losing this diversity of good bacteria in our bodies, and our bodies really need this to survive. So as a result, we're seeing this rapid increase in the frequency and the severity of illnesses in infants, in children, and adults. So Nori's products are delivering daily solutions that deliver good bacteria and essential vitamins supporting the gut and immune system. What you see here is our first flagship product line. We started the company with a product that's in a capsule format. We're using a special technology that allows us to combine good bacteria called probiotics, as well as a plant-based omega oil. So this product comes in 3 different SKUs. They're really targeted at very direct needs of the consumer based on a lot of data and research, digestive health, weight health, and then women's health specifically. These products launched nationally in 2020. And we've published a really great piece of research that proves, because of this capsule technology and the combination of this probiotic and omega blend, we're able to deliver twice as much good bacteria as our competitors, such as Procter & Gamble's brand. Clorox actually owns a brand in this category. So very competitive delivery. And we're also really focused on capturing a new and younger audience in this category. The next product line that we developed last year is called InnerImmune. And we saw a big opportunity to work with what is called an immunobiotic. So it's a special type of bacteria that reduces upper respiratory tract infections. So things like common cold, influenza, and COVID. And we combined this unique bacteria with daily essential vitamins. So vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, niacin, packaged it in a beverage format. We chose to deliver this solution in a beverage format because while some people do really enjoy taking supplements, a lot of people forget to take them. And the simplest way to understand this is that people don't forget to eat or drink. And so we packaged this into a delicious beverage using all plant-based sweeteners. So it's 0 sugar, 0 calorie. Since the last time that we presented to this team, this product line has made its way through production and actually, as of today, is on the shelves of CVS stores. So we're very proud of this innovation this year. And over the next couple of weeks, it'll trickle out to another 40 to 50 stores. And then we have some big resets coming for this product line next year. So hopefully you will see it locally and around. Something that we feel like is one of the most functional, if not the most functional beverage right now on the market, focused on supporting daily health, both digestion, immunity, and gut health of the consumer. So the next piece of innovation that we worked on, kind of in the same spirit as the adult functional beverage, we have launched a beverage for children. And something that we were seeing a lot of is parents looking for immune support for their kids, also trying to reduce the sugar intake, and really lacking any type of functional beverage for children. And so this is Interimmune, the same typical, nori gut-focused solution, very focused also, as you can see through the naming, the packaging, the positioning, on a daily immune support. And this is going to be launching in Target in April. And so we're very proud of this innovation as well. We have a 1 liter size that is merchandised adjacent to multi-serve juice, and in some stores going to be adjacent to like a Pedialyte. And then this smaller size for children will be in a multi-pack. So it's developed with one of our investors and advisors who's a pediatrician, and really, really excited about this product line, and just being able to support the health of kids earlier. As noted, one of our biggest priorities is advancing the world's transition to proactive health. And in order to start to get ahead of these problems, we feel like it's really important to focus on solutions for kids. So we're super excited about this, and it will be launching in 2022. Nori, by and large, is an omni-channel company, omni-channel strategy, if you want to say that. And we focus on servicing our customers online, direct to consumer, but also we work very heavily with retail. And a lot of the products, especially the beverages that we've been focused on developing, lend themselves better to in-store sales versus online sales. And so we are working with some of the national partners that you'll see listed on this slide. We're also working with a lot of our local retailers and natural and specialty retailers who are really great partners for us as we're getting these new products placed. So very proud of where we're at. And with that, I will take any questions that the judges may have.
Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much. Really impressed with the progress you've made, because we talked to you much earlier this year.
Yeah.
Congrats on everything. Congrats on the CVS deal. And we do have a number of questions from the judges. We'll start with Naomi.
Caroline, thanks so much for your presentation. I just want to ask a bit about how you're differentiating yourself in the marketplace. There's certainly quite a few functional beverages out there, and supplement products that do address probiotic needs, prebiotic, and vitamins as well. So specifically for the adult products, can you talk a little bit about how you're differentiating yourselves from the competition and really standing out on the shelves and marketing to reach the consumer?
Yeah, great question. And to your point, these are big categories, huge categories, and very, very competitive. So I'll start with the capsules, and then I'll talk about the beverages, just touching on both of those quickly. The capsules are very different because we're seeing this trend towards multiple benefits in one product. And so with talking to some of the national buyers, like the Walmart category manager, for example, you get some really good feedback on what they're seeing. So that's one of the things that is very different, is having multiple benefits in one. For example, our women's health probiotic also has cranberry in it. So it's kind of a 3-in-1 benefit. Also, the delivery mechanism is superior to what we're seeing out there in retail when we go head to head with the national players at the shelf. So that's one of the biggest differentiators from a science and delivery standpoint. Packaging as well. We've refreshed all of the packaging this year to really stand out. We think that it's going to be very successful as we launch the new packaging in the supplement aisles this next year. And then the beverages, the biggest thing for us on this is really taste. And I can't wait to share samples with you guys after this, but That's a huge priority with a functional beverage is, does it taste good? And ultimately, at the end of the day, even as large as the kombucha categories are, on average, a kombucha drinker drinks kombucha only 4 to 5 times a year, which I was surprised to hear that. And so we think we have a lot of opportunity to come in, cut the sugar out, which is still such a huge trend, and then also win on design, packaging, and taste to get the initial trial, and then hopefully have that repeat customer. So it's going to be hard. There's no doubt about it. These are massive categories, but we think that we're off to a really good start, and we're looking forward to reviewing data from CVS over the next few weeks and just continuing to refine. And then lastly, on your question of getting the word out, we've been thinking deeply about this because, most commonly a lot of consumer product companies are doing a lot of Facebook and Google advertising right now. And we're gonna do a little, different strategy for 2022. And we're actually working with iHeartMedia for podcast and radio, and just kind of interesting data on that front for marketing nationally to support some of the biggest retailers. These radio and podcasting companies, like iHeart's the largest, they reach 9 out of 10 Americans every month. And so, and it's during a point where they're more engaged. And so we're actually going to adjust some of our spend away from all of the Facebook algorithms and go into a little bit more podcast and radio. And so that's one of the things, without going too far into the rabbit hole, that's one of the things that we're doing specifically for support on a national level. And then we have different programs locally as well. But I hope that answers your question.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
So now we'll turn to Neil, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you're taking on Nori in some of your stores next year.
Yeah, Brian, we are. And Caroline, thank you. And we're excited to bring your products to the shelf. I think we're going on new seasons, which is in Portland, and then hopefully here in Southern California, Bristol Farm soon. So the question kind of builds off Naomi, but there is a lot of products out there. There's a lot of competition on the shelf. For us, it's not putting it in the store, it's putting it in customers' baskets. So how are you going to help the retailer get it into the customers' baskets and sort of break through that clutter that's on our shelves?
Yep, great question. And Neil, thank you so much. We haven't had a chance to connect in person since the last time, but thank you. Your teams have been just absolutely wonderful to work with. So we're really excited about that. So yeah, great question on that front. Traditionally really started with kind of the vitamin waters of the world, early 2000s. A lot of the field marketing and trial was demos, right? Testing and demos. And demos are coming back as a support to retailers, but we're cautious about them coming out of COVID because a lot of shoppers aren't wanting to take samples in stores right now, and rightfully so. So that has, for a company like ours, we've thought through this and kind of what else we could do. With Interimune specifically, this is always important, but we've doubled down on a couple of things, one of which is packaging. Like really, really, I think right now the packaging has to stand out on the shelf for new companies. Pricing and promotion. So for example, this is going to retail at $2.99. How often can we run a 2 for $5 promotion to get the consumer to try it one time and get 2 different flavors to try, which is really important to us, that if they don't like one flavor, maybe they can try another. So the packaging, the promotion, and the pricing, and then specifically, like, and this is why it's wonderful to work with New Seasons, New Leaf, and some of the regional players, placement. And so we can do these really cool end caps placement that allows the packaging and the case packs, which are 12 packs and a little bit bigger, more stunning packaging, to stand out, because so much of being a young company is just awareness. So those are a few of the things that we're doing. Demos and trials are another thing that we're going to just continue to really assess, and we lean on our retail partners for that. Some of our partners, such as Costco, they're back to demos and they want demo support. While others are kind of bringing them back slower. So those are kind of the different tools, I guess, in the toolbox for support. Yeah, we're working with every retailer pretty individually based on their needs.
All right. Well, thank you. And again, congratulations on all the progress you've made since we last spoke with you. Next, we're going to go in with another product. This one, first, I have to congratulate her, not for her professional work, but for something in her personal life. When we last saw Rachel, she was 9 months plus pregnant, and now she has a beautiful 4-month-old baby, I think. And so congratulations on that. She is the founder of Moody's, a former dairy executive who realized ice cream could do a lot more for you and your mood and still remain, as they say, freaking delicious. Rachel, take it away.
Thanks, Brian, and thanks for the well wishes. Highly recommend Making Humans. It is quite the experience. So let's kick things off. Okay. I think we can all agree that life is really freaking hard. And when times get tough, people want a spoon with ice cream, the most emotionally eaten food on earth. And there's really no substitute for that ultra creamy, delicious, indulgent moment, whether you're celebrating something happy and exciting, or you're down in the pits. Maybe you've got PMS, or you've got a really bad breakup you're trying to work through. Sometimes consumers will throw something low calorie in their cart, like a pint of Halo Top, so that they can crush the whole pint and not feel too bad about it. But right alongside that pint is another pint of Ben & Jerry's, or something that actually tastes really delicious, because there's no substitute for really freaking good ice cream. But consumers, on the same hand, also want to do something that's better for themselves. Let's take a look at the wellness and supplements categories. You've got Vital Proteins collagen, which is something that people can easily add to a smoothie, to a cup of coffee. It's a very approachable wellness product. And if you think that mushrooms didn't have a place in our world before, you see them in every cup of Four Sigmatic coffee. So functional nutrition and personal wellness is something that has been done, particularly in the beverage space. So we wanted to tap into wellness, but do it in a different way, because wellness isn't just healthier than thou, or this altruistic, unapproachable, Instagrammable yoga studio type mentality. Today, wellness is something that supports body inclusivity, supports healthy mental and emotional well-being. And there is nothing wrong with a little bit of staying home by yourself, making up reasons that you can't go out and have plans with someone, and just having an indulgent moment, because that's good for your wellness. And that's what we've done with Moody's, mood boosting ice cream. Moody's combines the indulgence of ultra premium ice cream with functional ingredients like collagen, turmeric, and botanical extracts to naturally boost your mood. And we're doing it today, particularly around the mood and the feeling sensation. So all 4 of our flavors have that mood element. So we're focusing on the feeling aspect and empowering consumers' very emotional eating. Rosemary Mint Chip has rosemary and peppermint to naturally boost your mood and provide mental clarity. Lavender Blueberry helps you feel chill with lavender botanicals to reduce stress and anxiety, and blueberries that are antioxidant rich to protect your DNA. Ginger Citrus is our very zen flavor, which is something that we could all use these days. Reduces inflammation, produces antioxidants, and helps support anxiety and depression relief. And then our sexiest of all the flavors, because you can't have a delicious ice cream line without an ultra excellent chocolate. We use cinnamon bark and real cocoa powder to reduce inflammation and improve circulation. All 4 of our flavors today not just focus on the mood element, but meet all of the demands of a natural and specialty grocery consumer, which is the market that we target today. So we use all natural ingredients, real adaptogens, and botanicals. I live in the Midwest, and it's very important that we support our local farmers, so we source our milk and cream locally. We also meet the clean label requirements of Whole Foods and use organic essential oils for our primary flavor system, which is not something that you see in the market today. It provides this whole body sensory explosion, and it's really the ultimate way to boost your mood. So with Moody's, we're at the intersection of personal wellness, indulgence, and emotional and mental well-being. But we don't forget that everything has to taste really delicious. That's why we're playing, and the first to play, wellness in an ice cream category, which is a category that has been a part of consumers' everyday lives for many, many years. but we're showing up in a totally new way. So tell me, judges, what are you in the mood for?
Well, before the judges get to answer that question, I'm going rosemary mint chip for sure. Awesome. Great presentation. And I know we do have a couple of questions from the judges. We're going to kick it off with one from Ola.
Hey, Rachel. Thank you. That was a great presentation. I really enjoyed it. Couple things I love that you're sort of expanding, you know, the comfort food perhaps into sort of wellness, and that part of wellness is feeling great and being happy, and it's okay not to have it always be like a, you know, some kind of a dry beige health food, right? So I think that's fantastic, and I love the shift from a standpoint of kind of just calling that out and owning it. You have some very specific ingredients, obviously, that you've worked in for their functional benefits. My question to you is, you know, are you sort of highlighting those ingredients more from a marketing standpoint, or do you have sort of efficacious levels of those ingredients where there are studies around certain functional ingredients and sort of needing to have a certain level of them, milligrams or whatever, to actually be able to make a health claim as you would on a supplement? And I come both in the past in the food world, and now I'm in the supplement world. So that's a big deal for us. But it's also something that often companies will be like, we have this thing, but if people who are kind of in the know won't necessarily see it as enough of that thing to have that efficacious physical effect. So can you talk a little bit about that and where you fall in that category?
Yes, we deliberately stay away from claims and efficacy in terms of like minimum number of ingredients or milligrams of a functional ingredient. Because number one, it's ice cream, and we're never going to win the game with people that are counting those types of ingredients. Like if you're looking for a wellness supplement, like you're not shopping in the ice cream aisle. So we didn't try to bring vitamins to ice cream. The piece that we did try to bring is most consumers are not nutrition or supplement diehards. They have heard of things like collagen or turmeric, and they're like, I know this thing is better for me, but I don't really know what it does or why it's better for me. And it's not our job to educate them on that. We just want to help bring it into their lives. So we leverage ingredients that people are familiar with, particularly our customers that are shopping in natural and specialty grocery. They've heard of these things. They're not going to be nutritionists about it, but they're familiar. And we highlight the benefits of what the total package brings together from a mood standpoint. So people, you know, we're not saying eat ice cream to cure this illness. We're saying this is how you want to feel. So we've packaged these things together in a way that actually tastes good. Give it a shot. And even if it doesn't have, you know, something that you're looking for, it's still a really great ice cream.
Thank you. Yeah, that helps. And darn it, I was really hoping I didn't have to take any supplements and I could just eat ice cream instead. But thank you.
I'm not stopping you.
No, I'm totally in to try. And I wanted to just compliment you on your packaging. I think it is really eye-catching. I love the simplicity, the color palette, everything about it. So great job. Thank you for your answer.
Thanks, Ola.
Yeah, great question. And I thought that was a great, authentic answer. Really well done. We've got one more from Derek now.
Rachel, first and foremost, thank you. I think you did a great job. Wanted to compliment you on the packaging and the positioning too. I think that the brand and the name speaks well to what the consumer can take from it. Certainly from a question standpoint, I have to speak up for other channels that are not specialty and natural, since I am representing one of the largest. And then I also think that with what we saw, and we joked about the ice cream truck, but, you know, ice cream is pretty mainstream. And, you know, it already, I would argue, brings that, you know, moderation is the key to life, and that balance, that really, if you want to be wholesome, that's the key. And I heard you state that, you know, taste was first and, you know, paramount, frankly, with you making this. So trying to really wrestle, how do you juggle that balance, that, you know, something like ice cream that is an indulgence that people get from ice cream trucks or from my channel and from convenience stores and other mainstream players, but relegating and being only focused on the Whole Foods, health, and the specialty channels. How do you plan to navigate that to grow?
Yeah, definitely. And that's a really good question, because what's the point of building businesses if we can't build really big businesses, right? And get that scale. We're starting in natural and specialty today because that's where our customer lives. And with our current operations, we're also positioned at a premium price point. And it's something that's more comfortable for a consumer in that space. As we scale, we have more conventional retailers on our radar for sure. I live in the same city that Target is headquartered. You cannot ignore those types of retailers. Our entry point for getting in there, and we actually have some calls scheduled for Q1 with Target, is we offer all of our flavors, not only in the traditional pint that grocery and consumers are used to having, but also a half pint and 8 ounce. And the reason that that's really special is because it helps drive trial from a more approachable price point and face value. Or you're like, this sounds kind of weird and I don't want to like buy a whole pint of ice cream if I don't know if I'm going to like it. It also takes up less shelf space, and so we can have more varieties in a smaller footprint in the store. And maximizing shelf space is something that every large retailer is always working on. So those half pints drive trial not only in the stores themselves and create an entry point for a more price conscious consumer, but we're also experimenting in food service channels, but in places that ice cream doesn't normally show up. Places like day spas. We just launched with The Coven, which is a non-binary and woman-owned co-working space. And driving trial in those areas where there's really very little competition and people can give it a shot and say, hey, this is really good. Like, I really like this and I like how it makes me feel. Where can I find it? That's marketing that is not done in a conventional way. And that's how we're choosing to show up.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Eric.
All right, great job, Rachel. Sterling, I'm gonna kick it back to you now for our next tech finalist.
Yep, Brian, these are so good. I'm getting hungry after these last two. So it's a good thing we're going back to technology. And I'll tell you, screens seem to be everywhere these days, but not always exactly where you need them, and not always with the information that you need on them. Well, Lightbox is about to change that in a very meaningful way. Brought to us from our partner brand innovators, here's Sumant Yeramili, CEO of Lightbox. Sumant.
Thank you, Sterling. Nice to meet everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Sumant, and I'm the CEO of Lightbox, and we're building the future of offline retail. We just started 9 months ago and already are in over 350 stores and on track to do $1 million in ARR. Let me show you why retailers are so excited about what we're building at Lightbox. When we thought about building Lightbox, we really wanted to rethink the in-store experience from the moment a customer walks in to showing personalized recommendations and products they might actually like, to getting them to check in, to actually incentivize the purchase in the actual store, all the way to once the customer actually finds a product, taking it over to the Lightbox where they can unlock more information such as reviews, offers, product information, just with a scan. Ready to buy? Simply scan the product to unlock modern buying options. And all this is done just without the customer ever downloading an app. But Lightbox is more than just the in-store experience. It's actually about the offline experience. When the customer actually leaves the store, a retailer can now send them a personalized notification about their in-store experience. And Lightbox is working. Today in the stores we're in, we're driving a 20% increase in in-store sales and driving over hundreds of leads per month. And really it pays for itself. We have two models where a retailer pays either $300 per store per month, or there's an advertising revenue share component to this. And this includes everything from an interactive panel to an in-store app clip, as well as an analytics and dashboard where a retailer can track the entire experience end to end. And we're growing really quickly. Today, we're piloting with some of the largest retailers in the country, equating to over 5,000 stores. And the reason we're growing is because we're the only company in the world to do this. A retailer can get up and running in less than 20 minutes with modern integrations. We have an AI optimization engine that's always personalizing the notification as well as the panel experience before the visit, during the visit, and after the visit. And lastly, it's completely frictionless for the consumer. There is no app to download. Simply scan the QR code or go to the panel to get started. And we're the team to do this because we've done this before and we're going to do it again. Between me and my co-founder, we have 25 years of experience in scaling enterprise businesses. We've brought previous hardware, software products to the market and have a deep understanding on AI and machine learning. But Lightbox is much more than just the in-store experience. It's really about connecting that bridge between online brands and products and offline consumers. We see a world where Lightboxes are in your favorite coffee shops, restaurants, sports venue. So it really becomes a distribution channel for all these amazing DTC brands that I just presented to reach consumers in the offline world and get them to purchase and connect. And really our vision is about selling anything, anywhere, completely frictionlessly. Thank you.
So there's no surprise to me how quick you're growing. I mean, this is phenomenal. Judges, talk to me. Who's got a question on this next one? Kendra, let's go to you first.
Great. Really, really cool kind of asset light way of connecting with the customers. So thanks for your presentation. I had a question about the repeat visits. Are you able, I'm sure you're tracking, kind of that after you leave the store and the 360-degree view. Tell us about how that's going, and then what's next? How else are you going to help the retailer connect with that customer?
Yeah, so today, one of the reasons we use an app clip, and for those who don't know, app clip is essentially a new product where you can scan a QR code and open up a mini app on your phone without ever downloading an app. And what we're seeing is that once the customer actually opens the app clip, then it actually goes to the marketing team where they kind of kick off and they send notifications and really add that customer to their existing marketing funnel. So now you basically have an offline customer and they're going online, and where you now are part of their email marketing campaign. You're incentivizing them. We have a store where they're actually getting the customer to come back into the physical store as well, right? So where, I came to a Something Navy store in LA, I checked out a product, I left, and now they're basically running incentives and saying, hey, why don't you come back in? Here's $15 off, or here's a special or collaboration we're running this weekend. So it really creates that kind of one-to-one channel, which we didn't really have previously.
Yeah, it is really easy. Ola.
Hi. Yeah, I just have a quick follow-up to that. I think this is a really interesting and innovation, and I could see this being really valuable in a lot of different, from all the way from FDMC sort of stores to boutiques. My question is, I guess, geared a little bit more to the boutique experience that you showed in your video clip there, and that is how much. I think the retargeting, brilliant, important, all of that. How much of that falls on the retail partner to manage, create, sort of be able to fulfill, or do you have the ability to help particularly smaller retailers who often don't have that expertise of sort of how to be effective as digital marketers? Is that something you bring capabilities for people who don't have a big in-house digital marketing team or lack that expertise, or is that something that the retailer, large or small, needs to sort of manage and
No, yeah. So that's something that we automate. So that's part of the reason that the screen is actually vertical, is that when we started off, the reason it's vertical is actually a lot of the content is pulled from Instagram. So we've always kind of focused on how do we make it super easy for the retailer to get up and running. Because before we started this company, it was always about, hey, I'm going to do this custom hardware kiosk solution. It's going to take a lot of work. So we were like, okay, how do we get up and running, whether it's connecting to Shopify, connecting your Klaviyo or MailChimp account. So from the moment I sign up to a rewards program, they're automatically into your funnel. So for us, it's always been around that automation because, from a retail perspective, they're very busy. So how do you actually make that entire process easy? And then on the boutique front, so today we're actually expanding beyond so originally we started with a lot of direct to consumer brands or owned and operated. So for example, we work with Skechers where they own the product and they own the entire experience. But now we're actually moving beyond that, where if you're a multi-brand retailer, this actually becomes a great channel for a lot of the DTC brands. In fact, that pitch today, where it becomes a channel for them to showcase their products inside the physical retail store and really educate the customer. So we're actually finding that multi-brand retailers are seeing a lot more value than beyond just the boutique or owned and operated retailer segment.
Thank you.
That's smart. Makes a lot of sense to me. Next question, Mr. Hennig.
Thanks, Sterling. First, I just tell you, I've seen some pretty cool stuff in the past couple of years. Your technology looks pretty awesome, and I like the asset light piece. Just want to unpack this a little bit. I can see how this would work very well in certain verticals. Just give me a little context on how this would work in fast-moving grocery as a concept, and how you would see retailers execute against this.
Yeah, so in the grocery vertical, the few conversations we've had, there are kind of two values that we see grocery vertical having, right? So one is product information, rewards enrollment, consumer education, all the amazing things I could do, whether it's downloading an app and enrolling the rewards program, price check. That's kind of table stakes where a grocery can kind of start it. But where we see the larger value is this could unlock a lot of brand and co-op dollars from a grocery perspective, right? Because there's always these new DTC brands trying to enter. And could this be a great kind of storytelling channel, whether it's at the shelf space, whether it's at the drink aisle, et cetera? It really becomes a revenue channel. So from a grocery perspective, we see this as more of, hey, is there a way for us to drive a lot more top line revenue than we previously weren't through this storytelling medium?
Sumant, great job. Fantastic to have you back here.
Thank you.
Brian, back to you for our last product company.
Yeah, bittersweet, but I guarantee you that Kim Roxy is going to bring great energy to finish this thing off. She is the founder at Lamique Beauty, and she has been working hard to end the use of toxic ingredients in beauty products, particularly those targeted at women of color. You're going to love her story and you're going to love her product. So Kim, take it away.
Yes, thank you so much, Brian. Great to see you, Patrick. I'm so happy to be here. Let's get this started. So for everyone in the room, whether you wear makeup or not, I want you to get into this story and put yourself in my shoes. So I'm Kim Roxy, Kimroxie, and I'm the founder of Lamique Beauty. Lamique actually stands for Love and Makeup and Kindness. We are a tech-enabled clean color cosmetic company focusing on women of all diverse backgrounds. And I started my journey, I ran my own makeup store for 14 years. But then I was diagnosed with a form of alopecia that caused my hair to fall out, my eyebrows to stop growing. And these type of skin abnormalities are actually quite normal, these type of skin issues. But we just don't have makeup addressing it in a way that I feel safe using it on my skin. 75% of beauty products marketed to women that look like me, women of color, are toxic. Even though women of color spend 80% more on cosmetics. That's 9 times more than the average woman. And one of the ladies in this photo right here, the darker skinned woman that I'm holding onto, she went inside of one of the major retailers and was not able to be serviced just because of her complexion. But I got a success story for that coming up. This is a multi-billion-dollar market. Mintel reported that multicultural women are actually driving the beauty market. And my inspiration, my mother, who passed away from metastatic breast cancer, wore makeup every day. And I just don't want any woman to be put at risk because of the makeup that she wants to wear. That's supposed to make her look good, but actually it's not good for her. So I launched it with my Revelation Brow Duo. We use AR-powered virtual makeup try-on for our consumers to get the right product for their skin tone every single time. We use it by allowing her to try it on. And so I'm wearing it today. Okay, it looks good, right? So the mascara, the brow gel, our profit margins are nice and hefty. It's 84% profit margin on that brow product. But then also we have our mascara, our lip gloss, our foundation we launched. And we talk about what's best for the consumer. These are the type of reviews that we get. All 5-star reviews on that foundation. Never had something that matched them like a second skin before and showed up and matched so perfectly. And our consumer is a professional woman. She's out changing the world and she needs her makeup to stand up for her. We just launched at the largest beauty specialty retailer on Ulta.com. And I am so excited to say that that woman that you saw on that picture is now on the website of Ulta Beauty. That's a success story. From going from not being able to find a color that matched inside of that store to now being on their website through Lamique. And we have a direct-to-consumer business. And then we host live shopping parties. And that's the way that we're reaching our consumer. 15% of shelf space has been pledged to Black-owned brands. By me going on Ulta.com, I am the first Black-owned clean beauty brand to launch on their website. We're breaking barriers because it can't stay the same. And Meghan Markle, the Duchess, was just caught in the Lamique Beauty Brow, Revelation Brow Duo, and it landed us all over the press. My phone was buzzing. and it lifted our sales and was amazing for us. So come on board and let's bring equity to the beauty industry together. We have the power to do that.
Amazing, amazing. Congratulations on your 5 minutes of fame. I have no doubt there's going to be 10 and 15 and 20 coming down the road next, but that's really cool about Megan Merkel. So look, we got a couple of questions. We're going to start with Ola, who's got the first one.
Kim, first of all, I love your energy and passion. And honestly, I think that energy and passion and the way you weave the story of this brand in, and and how it has a direct impact on women across their lives is frankly probably the key to your success, I'm sure, and will continue to be. So never stop being you, because I think you are, and especially as a woman who follows women's brands, I think we often interact with women's brands differently, where we are really in it and feel very connected to the founder or the person who is speaking to us through social, through wherever we are. So I think that's an incredible value to your company. And I just, it's great. You make me want to go out and, shop for makeup, and I don't wear a lot of makeup. And, I have the opposite problem. I have the Irish tan, which is also hard to match. So
yes, we got you, but we got you too.
I noticed that. I'm so excited. What I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, and it sounds like you've done a phenomenal job with PR, whether that's purposeful or just frankly getting recognition because you're out there doing something that is incredibly needed. Talk to us a little bit more about sort of like your marketing plan and where you really how you plan to win through marketing, how you can share this amazing story and at sort of the impact and testimonials. Like, how are you channeling that to really go big and make sure everybody knows you exist?
Yeah, so we're so into content creation and engagement around our influencers as well. For us to get on Meghan Markle, that was through her makeup artist, Daniel Martin, who got our products at a makeup trade show we just did a couple months ago. So we're out marketing through trade shows, through events, those kind of things, and going to the key stakeholders, the influencers, the makeup artists who have access to a larger audience. So we don't have to do all of that, like you talk about, grassroots kind of work that takes so long for a smaller brand to do. And then we're also partnering with retailers that know they need our option for their consumer. Their consumer is coming inside of the store, and like I showed you, Ebony, who was on my deck, she got turned away at the largest beauty specialty retailer in the country, and her story went viral on social media. So our placement inside of that store actually saved the image, to be honest, and also the consumer. So we're using social media, we're using those type of trade shows, and we're using original content from influencers to help us really leverage our story and get in front of them.
That's great. And we've got one final question for the entire year coming up next. So make it a good one, Neil.
Wow, I just saw Naomi came on, and I'm like, I think she should have the pressure of the final question.
No pressure, Neil. No pressure. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sweating now. I need some foundation on there. Love your energy, love your passion, and I think it's infectious. So the question is kind of follows up where Ola was. How do you get the word out there? And I guess the question is, how do you make it more accessible to more consumers who need this solution?
Yeah, so we've launched on ultabeauty.com, but they have over 700 stores that we'll be entering into. And then we also have one of the largest TV streaming platforms that will be going into very soon as well. So we look at it from a distribution standpoint as well, Neil. And I know you understand that being in your realm. So we're going to hit it from, yes, the direct to consumer standpoint, but then also from a retail distribution standpoint, and also from the live stream shopping standpoint. So I'm a millennial, and I believe in the new way of shopping as well. And I believe that is live stream shopping. And so we have regular Facebook and Instagram shows where we're actually selling there. And we have those type of platforms that we're using. So yeah, distribution also, the accessibility for our customer. She might be in Idaho, she might be somewhere else, and we need to be accessible for her. And so distribution is also a part of our key factor and a part of our strategy for 2022 and 2023.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Brian, Sterling, thank you. You know, before we get into finalize the judging, I just want to observe, you know, when you come up with an idea or when you launch a platform or product, you never really know how it's going to go, but you have a belief, you got an idea, you got faith, you work hard, and the founders that have joined us today have just blown me away. And, you know, when we launched the concept for Startup Mic-Drop for 2021, we didn't know where it was going to go. We didn't know who we were going to meet. We didn't know who we were going to get to see or the ideas we'd get exposed to. But Dimitri, Carolyn, Rachel, Sumant, Kim, you guys blew us away. And it has just been such a privilege to be able to hear these ideas and the ideas of your colleagues that, you know, coming from CART, coming from Jumpstart Foundry, coming from Generator, coming from Brand Innovators, and also from SKU, meeting your colleagues, meeting your peers, the innovators who are going to inform and define retail tomorrow. It's just been spectacular and truly a privilege. And the judges, thank you all so much for your commitment to the series. Brian and Sterling, what'd you guys think?
Man, we were side texting for the last couple of contestants or finalists saying the same thing. And no joke, 5 unbelievably impressive founders, smart, thoughtful, great ideas. And we were like, I don't know who's gonna win. I have no idea.
It is close.
Now I start to have an idea, but yeah.
I mean, some really genius companies all around. It's very easy for me to see now why they're all finalists, why they've all made it thus far. I mean, their presentations initially during the Mic-Drop sessions that they won were fantastic. And to see them here, they've all come out really, really strong. And I'm excited to see what happens here.
So I think we're approaching that time. The finale here as we wait for the judges to finalize their scores, and shortly we'll be ready to announce a winner. I think we're waiting on one final entry here. So momentarily I should have it. All right. I see we've got the final judge in. Now I'll get the tabulation. If I had a virtual drum roll, I'd play it. Derek's got it for me. All right. The winner of the 2021 Mic-Drop Showdown. Congratulations to Kim Roxy and Lamique Beauty. Kim, you have won our $10,000 prize. We are so excited for you and so happy we met you through our friends at SKU. Tell us what you're thinking, Kim.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh my God. You know, you know what? Oh my gosh. Brian, Sterling. Oh, okay, Patrick, this is monumental. This is monumental because the judging panel put yourselves in someone else's shoes. And I honor you for that. I honor you for stepping out and seeing all of my customers. I'm going to get emotional because I'm just like happy that you saw us. And I appreciate that. Because for so long, our women have been invisible at the makeup counter. And I appreciate you. And to all the other finalists, you already know you're incredible because you've already won. So this is just, this is just icing on the cake, but you're already winners. So I appreciate you. And I thank all of you for stepping outside of yourselves to see Lamique, ladies.
Thank you,
Congratulations, Kim.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Congratulations, Kim. Well deserved.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm damn near in tears, Kim. That's just awesome. I'm so grateful for your gratitude. And I want to say to everybody who competed and participated, again, back to the beginning. All right, Dimitri, Carolyn, Rachel, Sumant, thank you. Your ideas, your stories, what you're attempting to do is absolutely spectacular. It's been a privilege to have all of you on. Lamique, if you're available, we'd love to have, or Kim, if you're available, we'd love to have you represent Lamique and have Michelle come in from SKU for our broadcast next Thursday.
Be there.
Fantastic. Judges, thank you. Brian and Sterling, co-host, thank you for everything. What a great series. We'll look forward to continuing the journey. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thanks
you.
all. It's great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kim.
Thank you.